has any questions for us or for any of the stand members, we'd be happy to answer. Yeah, go ahead.
Simon, since these are your fellow peers, and I know you guys are all very close, how was it for you over them?
It was tough. It was really tough for me. It was hard to step back from the fact that we're friends and we're just kind of hanging out outside of school. But Juliet was a great help with that. She's the stage manager.
Yeah.
And it was really great having her around because it was a lot for me to deal with. But it got to. Yeah.
So, what can we do?
Well, there's a lot you can do. Any stand members want to field that question? Any of them? Go ahead, Alicia, shoot. All right, this is Alicia. She's one of the co-presidents of STAND.
Hey, Alicia.
Stand up.
So, basically there's a lot we can do. I mean, in the Stand Club we focus a lot on fundraising, but, I mean, recently we're trying to push more towards getting our...
I started to get really interested in it when, I mean, obviously at the beginning of this project, and then for just my history class, I had to start doing a lot of current events on it. So I know Sivan sends us emails all the time with stuff that we can do, and just because of my history project, I did a lot of my own research on it. And
Oh, you done?
yeah. Go ahead.
No, it wasn't like that. Shut up. Okay. Well, me personally, after like this, well, it's not necessarily done and never will be. After about 3 weeks into it, I went to my school and we have a little thing that we do when we talk about stuff, all the problems in the world. And when Dad brought up Darfur, and we decided to do like a little group or whatever, and you know, raise some money and stuff at my school. And yeah.
Yeah, like Tavis, and kind of like Rachel, I did like some of my own research, I guess. And I'm actually starting a STAND chapter at my school basically because of this. So.
Actually, why don't you guys all introduce yourselves?
Oh yeah.
I'm Yoni.
I'm Tavis.
I'm
Continue,
Leah.
Dart.
I'm Marina.
I'm Jordan.
I'm Alyssa. I'm Rachel. Juliet.
Sivan. Are there any other questions? Yeah, go ahead.
So, I totally agree with you that every little thing counts when, helping Darfur, but especially with the elimination of humanitarian aid groups in Darfur, what exactly can be taken to prevent any more genocide in Darfur, especially in the area of government intervention in the United States and other countries?
Wait, I'm sorry. What was the question?
Like, what can governments do around the world?
What can governments do? Okay, well, it's really important. Obviously, the UN is comprised of 4 nations, and it's really important that we make sure, because China and Russia are big trading partners with Sudan. China, in fact, gets a huge amount of its oil from Sudan, so they don't want to say anything against them. They don't want to vote for any of their, they don't want to vote for anything that's going to help end the genocide because they want, Sudan to be their partner in trade. So China has been really, really difficult, and so we have to make sure that we can override both China and Russia and still push for UNIMID to go through and push for all of the UN actions to happen, and we can tell our government to make sure that they push for that. Yeah.
How long did it take you guys to go, and how long did the whole process of the blocking and all that stuff long take?
I wrote the show last year. I was kind of inspired by the playwriting class we had last year, and we read Bang Bang You're Dead, which I'm sure a lot of you are familiar with, and that really inspired me. And it took me, then I got like tonsillitis, and I just was home for a week, so I wrote it, and I continued to write it for like the rest of the month, and then I've been drafting it since. And to actually stage it, we did kind of a reading of it for a benefit last year. I guess you could call it more of a reading, because it wasn't even really a performance. And then to direct this, we started blocking. We didn't start in October, did we really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We did.
Because we've had like 3 or 4 performances.
Yeah, we performed at Wesleyan for a teen leadership conference. We performed at Southern for the Human Relations Conference.
The JCC.
We performed at the JCC for SEC Diversity Team, and we performed it here.
Yeah, we did something.
So 4.
So a couple months of rehearsals.
Yeah.
stage and look at them and just despise them, like completely hate their existence. And one thing that I did, I'm not sure if it was put on the video, but sort of thought about everything that's going on in Darfur, and
About the Holocaust more than you learn about stuff like this. So I used what I knew about the Holocaust and the horrors I knew that happened there and applied it to Darfur and used it kind of as a connection to bring the reality to people. So I thought of everything I know from like firsthand accounts and stories and books that you read, and I used that and I kind of made that into my own story, and then I tried to bring it to and like use it to help out all my friends and the people I wanted to help. That's what I did.
I think what I did was, for my character, I kind of figured out a way for me to be able to connect to every single other character, and because I was like the savior, the doctor, so I felt, you know, that I had to have a really strong connection with Pony because I wanted to save her, and like a strong connection with Frida because she was the person that, if I was there, I would have done anything that I could do to save her. And just like that with all the other characters to build my character.
Well, I think it was a little bit easier, I guess you could say, for me to try to become my character because I was playing a younger child, closer to my age than Rachel, who had to have a daughter. And I completely agree with Rachel's substitution. I just kind of, I guess I have a little sister who's about 11 years old, 12, 11, 12. And I imagined kind of maybe how she would react, and I really used that because I was playing a child around her age. And I don't know, I guess I can't really relate to anything that's going on, so I kind of try to take my own personal struggles and struggles that I saw of people around me and try to incorporate that into something that I could relate to, but still could become on such an extreme scale of what they feel in Darfur.
That's your only question because I know you as a violinist, and I think the violin could be a very powerful instrument in this kind of thing as well. I'm curious, I didn't know you played the piano.
It was the original plan, but me playing violin was the original plan. That kind of fell through, and it takes a huge effort to get people together, because if I were to play violin, I would need someone else to play something else, and someone else to play something else, and that's just very complicated. And also, another reason I played piano, it helps for it to be one person doing it, is because if anything goes wrong, kind of, I mean, not that anything would go wrong, but like,
The lines get flubbed.
but sometimes, yeah, little things happen, and for a group to deal with that is much more difficult for an individual to deal with.
Well, I'm so proud of you. That's all I can say.
Were you inspired by any other plays in terms of coming up with this idea, especially using the afterlife as the sort of the basis of the story?
Bang Bang You're Dead was really, really inspirational. I mean, if you've read the play, you probably can see the relationship between the two. Bang Bang You're Dead is about a boy who shoots 6 people in his school, and they come back to haunt him from the dead, sort of. Their ghosts come back to haunt him, and that idea of having people who actually have already died was really, I had been thinking so long of how I can have people in Darfur talking about these horrible experiences if they haven't, like, you know, it seemed like a contradiction. So I set it here so that I could have them talk about their experiences having already had them. Oh yeah, the rhythm of Bang Bang You're Dead too, it has that repetition, and that's what the Forever Running chorus sort of is.
Well, most of it's like I have an idea of what I'm doing. A lot of it is completely written out, and then there are certain chunks where I say, okay, this is the emotion I'm going to create here. I'm going to use this material from the overture and this material from the other theme, but other than that, it's very loose.
Stan is running a bake sale outside. We're also selling t-shirts, so feel free